we should be live. I think we're live, but I'll just confirm. Hi everyone, what's up? How is your Wednesday evening or Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday afternoon? Yeah. Let's check. Yes, I think we're live. Yeah, we're live. I'll just confirm if all of us are audible. Hi guys, let me know if you can hear all of us. Sandeep, Parth, Shruti, why don't you guys introduce yourself? And we'll just see, like, हमारा audio check भी हो जाएगा quickly.
Yes, Shruti, you can start.
I'm Shruti.
Yeah. And where are you joining us from?
I'm joining from Kerala, Trivandrum.
Nice. And you've become a recent patron, right? A godfather?
Yeah, this is my first stream, so I thought I'll be listening mostly.
No, but this is nice. And what about you? And how did you discover the channel?
Not sure, but I've been following your channel for a lot of months now. Started with the quiz, but then I have been looking forward to every video that you guys posted. So it's really amazing that you're doing, and I'm very happy to be here.
Nice. Hi, Sandeep. How are you?
Hey, hi, Vani. I'm fine. I'm joining from Bangalore. I have been a Chalchitra patron for 2 months now. And it all started with that video of Neville, where Neville recommended some stuff. So that's where I was directed to Chalchitra, and it has been a fun experience after that, like recommendations after recommendations. And you get a lot of people, also the other two godfathers, to interact with a lot on. So yeah, it has been a fun experience. And Hindol's quizzes.
That's so nice. What about you, Parth? Like, tell us, like, when did you become the patron? Where are you joining us from? And how did you discover us?
Yes, so I'm joining from Kansas in US, and it's in the Central Time. I discovered Chalchitra Talks through the video of Bispati Sarkar because I follow him rigorously, and he came on a show to recommend shows and stuff. And then since then, and rest is a history. So I follow you guys for 2-3 months, and then I became. I think I emailed you, you or Vaibhav, a couple of times, but I didn't get reply back, and I was like, let's just support them more.
So sorry.
And yeah,
I that email, and I'll definitely reply you ASAP.
Oh no complaint. And it's a good thing. Like, as you guys are growing, you guys are getting busy and all. So, and I was spending my most, as I think I mentioned, like, you guys are my lunch buddy. Usually when I'm on lunch break, I watch your guys live show. And also, yeah, and I am been godfather for 4 or 5 months, I guess. I don't remember.
But you haven't joined any town hall session, right? I haven't seen you in any of the town hall sessions.
No. So this is my second live session with Chalchitra Talk. First was it was about Delhi Belly. Yeah, it was
nice
discussion about Delhi Belly, and it was with Bharat, I guess.
Bharat and Soumya, yes.
Yes. And I am also part of the group of another patrons who meet up in US, and they do and that. So yeah.
This is so cool. And where are you from, in India?
So in India, I'm from Gujarat.
Okay, cool. Amazing.
Pathik is from there.
Yeah, Pathik is, I think his place is some 90 kilometers from Ahmedabad, if I'm not wrong.
I think he's from Mehsana.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the place, but he lives he told me the place is 90 kilometers from Ahmedabad or something. But yeah. But a lot of people are also joining us. Hi, Srijan. Hi, Nikhil. Nikhil is also working and multitasking. I think otherwise would have been on the stream surely. Hey, nice. Nikhil is also in US only. Vinayak is also here. Vinayak is traveling right now. He and I met today. Vinayak is also part of Chalchitra Talks, and he's traveling back to Jaipur, I think, right now. And it is nice. Guys, please like this stream. This is something I tell every time, but please like the stream because that's just how the YouTube algorithm works. The more you like the stream, the more it gets recommended, and the more people are able to discover us. And that really helps the channel. So if you like us, please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to Chalchitra Talks, share the stream with your friends, and like the stream, because it really helps us grow. But yeah, Nandan is always like lunch and dinner buddies.
इसलिए वो हिंडोल ने बड़ा लाइक लिखा हुआ है
It always helps, and I hate how like when we don't point it out, nobody likes it. That's very disheartening. Before it becomes a rant, though, I will just start like with the agenda of the stream today. What is everyone reading right now?
We should keep the order like Sandeep, Shruti.
Yeah, let's just keep it like, I don't know, alphabetically. Parth, Sandeep,
that doesn't work for me.
Oh, well, let's just go like we'll start with you right now, and then we'll start with Shruti. Sandeep will always be second.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you said I'm going, right?
Yes. And also guys,
Sorry.
please like the stream. Yeah.
So I am actually reading Surely You Are Joking, Mr. Feynman, like book of the month or something, like July book.
The cover is really nice. My cover is not that great. We can't see the cover because I think you'll have to turn off the background.
It's mass behind me, so I'm not taking that risk. But yeah, it's an old one, I guess, and it's not I have bought, but it's from the library. I try to not buy books like just because it's expensive and sometimes it get way out of like my budget.
It happens to all of us.
Yes, so I'm reading Surely You Are Joking, Mr. Feynman right now. That's my book.
And how are you liking it? Are you active in the group discussions as well?
No.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
No problem.
I'm kind of, I don't know, people don't agree with me, but I'm kind of shy. Like I try to avoid talk.
Is that why you haven't attended any of the town hall sessions as well?
Might be the case, and I'm just trying to break that. And like I want to talk more, and I just want to get out. So yeah. So about the book, I guess, yeah, I liked it, and as soon as I read, I realized that मैंने ये किताब पहले पढ़ी हुई थी. And then it goes all the way back. In the 10th standard, we had a quote from Richard Feynman in our book, like in textbook, in science text, about nanotechnology. And then I become a fan of him. And I think मैंने तब पढ़ी थी. Maybe I was preparing for like English or IELTS or something back then.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like the character. So Richard Feynman was like he is hero for me right now. Like, so he was hero. Then I read about he worked on Manhattan Project, project which made the atom bomb for Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Yes. Neil is also here. Hi, Neil. How are you? Okay, I think he can hear us now. Hi, Neil. How are you?
Hello. I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm fine as well. I'm glad you could join us. I had almost given up hope, but yeah.
So some delays for just ending up my day's job here.
No problem. We were just discussing the books that we are reading right now, and we had thought we'd go around alphabetically. And now you'll be the first one because everyone else's name starts with a P or S. So we're like, what are you reading right now?
Okay. So I'm reading this one. I don't know if you can see. It's called Do No Harm. It's by Henry Marsh. He's a neurosurgeon, quite reputed in UK. And so he does a lot of, quite a bit of altruistic work. So he goes to, say, Ukraine and to other parts of, even sometimes he comes to Bangladesh as well and does all this very complex surgeries. So this book is pressed, I think he's just retired right now, and it's a culmination of all his entire life work. So, but it's a fascinating book in the sense that it talks about the, once you read the book, you realize how lucky you are to be alive. And that's what I felt. I mean, there are so many ways in which you can die, possibly. And just the fact that we are alive makes you realize that how.
What is the book about actually?
So, okay, so it's called Do No Harm. It's a part of the Hippocratic Oath that every doctor has to take to say that the first thing that they would do is that they would not do any harm to their patients. Now, what he's talking about here is that in the line of neurosurgery, it's probably not very easily demarcated as in other parts of medicine, because even if you try to do some surgery, you might end up harming some part of the brain or the spinal cord or something that would lead either a person paralyzed or it might lead to his death. So he's trying to say through the stories, through the incidents that has happened in his career, that that part of the oath, do no harm, is probably a bit takes much more gravity for a neurosurgeon.
Okay.
And so, and it's a fascinating book. I would recommend people to read it. It's very so there are parts of it in which I have underlined, and I was just going through those parts, and there is one place where he actually debates with himself that should he give optimism to the patient, or should he be brutal and tell him that no, so he himself is not sure whether the patient will actually survive or not post the operation. Yeah. So he's debating with himself to what level of optimism he should show to the patient. So I think it's a fascinating book, this one. And this led me to the next book, because he was referring to this as well. I don't know if any one of you have read this.
Thinking Fast and Slow.
By Daniel Kahneman. And I have just started it. I have heard a lot about it, and it's about the mistakes that every person will make in his own life, and it's about that. But so it talks about how you will basically make mistakes and how you have to deal with those mistakes. So that's about it. I've just started it, but it seems to be a very good read as well, this one.
Nice. Sandeep, I'll come to you because someone is asking, Quentin Tarantino is in the comments, and he's asking, hey Sandeep, where do you get those frames behind you? This is the same question we ask in every town hall session. Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, you just have to get them framed. You have to get the printout done and get them framed, I guess. That's the easy way.
Nice. What are you reading right now, Sandeep?
Okay, so I'm not sure if you can see this. Okay, so I'm reading this book called The Better Angels of Our Nature by Steven Pinker. So here, he's one hell of an optimistic guy. So he makes the case based on anecdotal and factual evidence that we are moving from a period of more violence and towards a period of less violence. So whatever we see all around us, the wars, the destruction, this is an improvement rather than us looking at it as a sad state of affairs. So if you want to look at the glasses half full, then Steve Pinker is your guy.
Nice. That's such a nice.
So the whole reason behind naming it The Better Angels of Our Nature is that his overall case is that human beings, by instinct or by our reptilian instincts, whatever, right, are more easily pushed towards the negative things like violence and other stuff. But there are still some better angels inside our own nature that stop us from taking that plunge towards nihilism, right? So it's an interesting book. I haven't completed yet, but yeah, it's an interesting book.
Nice. That's good. Tanmoy has commented. Okay, wait. Sandhya is also here. Sandhya, our godfather. So she's commented all my buddies. And that's nice. And Tanmoy is asking, surely you're joking, ka review kab hoga? So guys, we'll be discussing it on this Saturday. It won't happen tomorrow because tomorrow we have the movie quiz and a lot of really amazing guests are going to join us. There's going to be Devaya, Bopanna, Ronak Rajani is going to be there. And there's also going to be Abbas Momin and Uday Bhatia. So do join us. And yeah. That's one. What about you, Shruti? Like, what are you reading?
Yeah, so I'm reading the same July book, Surely You're Joking by Surely You're Joking, Mr. Freeman. Yeah, so just finished the first chapter. So I'm hoping to finish by tomorrow, day after tomorrow's discussion. Also, I bought the Dune book. So much discussion was going on about it, so I made to start it. But yeah, that is also there.
Did you guys actually? Are you guys also planning to read Dune? Because book club me the other day we were discussing how someone had said that they want to start reading Dune, and I was like, hey, when I have a copy, I'll also start. And I don't know if you guys actually saw the message, but yeah, the plan is to read Dune in addition to the August homework, which is yet to be disclosed. But yeah, I don't know how many of you will actually be interested. When is the movie coming out, by the way?
Sure. To check.
Nobody's interested about Dune. It's okay. But yeah, that's what we're planning to do. I have been reading Harry Potter series, and I'm also trying to read Flights by Olga. I'm not sure what her name is. She or he's a Polish writer, and it's kind of a collection of short format writings, and each chapter is different from the other, but like it's about travel in the 21st century and excerpts from how when she or he traveled to like multiple locations, what their thoughts were in terms of metro, etc., etc. So it's pretty interesting, and it won the Man Booker Prize of 2016, if I'm not wrong. Yep.
Olga Tokarczuk, no?
Yes. Yeah. I have major problem with names, but yeah.
She won the Nobel Prize in 2019, I think.
Yeah, I'll just check. Olga. She's a Polish writer, and
Spell the last name.
Yep. I'm not sure if she's won. Okay. Yeah, she won the Nobel Prize in 2018. Yep. But I really am enjoying Flights. Like it's a really, really nice book. Although it won a Nike award as well. Like I did not know, but there's a Nike award for books as well, which I think is of the country Poland. But yeah, it won quite many awards.
I think she won in 2018 Nobel Prize in Literature.
Yeah. Nice.
I have a signed copy of her book, Primeval and Other Stories. So I met her at the Passaporta Festival in 2018. Wow. And at the time she came out with her book, which was called Jacob and something. I forgot the name of the book, which looks into the history of Jewish settled people in Poland.
Yeah. Did you actually get to meet her and then get a signed copy, or like just?
No. So she was speaking over there, and after a talk where she spoke about the book, then she was signing copies. So I had that book of Primeval and Other Stories. Huh?
That's so cool. I'm slightly jealous, but not so much. This is nice. I had the book lying around for quite some time, and I had tried to read it pehle bhi, but like I had always given up after a chapter or two. And then I just started reading it a few days ago, and then I just cannot keep it down because it's so interesting. Every chapter just makes you want to A, travel and relive moments like this, and B, it just makes you, it reminds you of how life used to be before COVID, when you would just not think about anything else and just pack your bags and travel if you want to. But it's really nice.
And she's actually very fiery as well. I mean, she's against, because Poland has a very right-wing government at the moment, and she is a bit of an activist over there. So extremely fiery. I mean, reminds you of Arundhati Roy, and
Nice. How many of you have actually read Harry Potter? I'm also planning to do something around Harry Potter soon, but I don't know how many of the people would actually be interested in.
Okay. Yeah, I have read it.
Nice. Do you like? Did you watch the movies before you read the books, or did you read the books after you watched the movies?
Yeah, I read the books after I watched the movies. But
was there anything that you hated?
Pretty much everything. I mean, the visuals described in the books are so clear and so grand, right? It's very difficult to make a movie to match that.
Right.
So even though I read the books after I had seen all the movies, the memories from the books are still the ones that are,
Nice.
more clear, and they stay in your memory more than the books.
Nice. And what are you guys watching right now in terms of movies or documentary, anything that's visual?
Yes, so,
I'm currently on a...
yeah, good.
No, I was saying that I'm currently on a discovery of Pedro Almodovar's films. So I was watching a number of films in quite quick succession. I started with All About My Mother, then Bad Education, Volver, then Broken Embraces, and so it's amazing,
Nice.
absolutely
That's nice.
amazing.
And
what about you, Sandeep?
Yeah. So this week actually I've ended up watching a lot of things. For a different film club discussion, I watched two movies around the subject of surveillance, which is very topical for things that we'll not name. But so I ended up watching Francis Ford Coppola's The Conversation. It's a 1974 movie that has Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
And another movie by Brian De Palma called Blowout, which features John Travolta. This is between his years of doing, Saturday Night Fever and Pulp Fiction, in between, somewhere in midway. And both these movies are excellently made for the times that they were made in, and both prominently feature audio surveillance. And they make very prescient statements, especially Blowout, where the system always wins and covers up whatever faults have happened. It will make you question a lot of things in this day and time when we put all our lives in Twitter reels and whatever Instagram reels or Twitter stories and all that. Some food for thought from both those movies, and exceptionally well made movies, both of them. Then recently I watched Sarpata Parambarai, which is a Tamil movie, and that's again a really wonderfully made movie, and I think everyone is raving about that these days, rightfully so. It's made by Paranjit. It has Arya in it. It's about boxing, and it has taken the oldest trope of the underdog story in the boxing movies that we have seen n number of times, but Paranjit has just created a different world through it, and by all the messages or layered messages that he has sent out through it, and overall it's just fantastic storytelling. And I don't know if any of the Godfather Sandhya or Apurva are in the chat, but they will know that there was some discussion going around this series called the Midnight Gospels. It's an animated series on Netflix. So I ended up watching 3 episodes of that this morning, and it's really trippy. And that's just something else. It's like a podcast, okay, but with a lot of things happening in the background. So the visuals and the audio they are not in sync at all. The visuals are doing their own meta thing in their own way, and the audio is talking about stuff from LSD to weed, and then talking about death. It covers a lot of topics, and in the background there are zombies being killed, and there's a lot of things happening. So if anyone is interested into that kind of a trippy stuff, or sure to give it a try.
Cool. And what are you guys watching, Parth and Shruti?
You wanna go first?
Yeah. So I just finished Succession like yesterday, and yeah, it was very nice. Really loved it. Then yeah, so many other shows that have been discussed in our group, like Modern Love, yeah, Mayor of Easttown. So all of these I was finishing in last couple of weeks, and then today I watched Schindler's List. So that's
Did
it.
you like it?
Yeah, of course I loved it.
Nice. And what about you, Parth?
So, like this morning, I had some boring work. So I needed something in the background, so I watched Munna by MBBS. Like I watched, or at least it was playing in the background.
Nice.
working on other stuff, but that's like the most recent this morning I did that. And I usually have like, so like whatever the movies available on YouTube and like some of the like good movies, I just keep rewatching and watching. And before that, I think for the show wise, I finished Succession. And yeah, thank you, Chalchitra Talk, for that. And like when
I also finished Succession, like I think I finished Succession on Saturday or Sunday, I'm not sure. But like either of those days.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I just finished right before your interview video came out.
Yeah.
And yeah, when Vaibhav is passionate about something and like when he tells you 4 or 5 times, like watch, and then because I'm very lazy person, like even though somebody recommend, I wouldn't go and watch unless somebody is persistent about it. But it's completely worth it for the Succession. Like I know I have seen I forgot the actor name, but the Kendall guy in Big Short. And I love his character in Big Short, like, and he's completely different because initially for first 2 episodes, it was keep reminding me of that character in Big Short.
Yeah.
And Succession is wow. It's because I'm not a fan of like non-steady cams. Like I that's why I was hesitant to watch Office for like 2-3 years because I don't like camera movement like too much. You know when you notice camera movements. Because it just affects you. And I think Office was first surprise and the Succession is second. Because it has the same camera movement, I guess, like they zoom in and all that stuff. But yeah, Succession is completely worth. And I think I will watch it second time.
Sandeep and Neil, I'm so sorry I cut you off, but Sandeep and Neil, have you guys also seen Succession?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, you guys should definitely. I mean, like Vaibhav put it on me and then I hated him because the season 3 is going to be out in September. The date is out, like not the date, but like the month is out September. And yeah, like I hate him because I'll have to wait for a month now to watch the 3rd season, but it's amazing.
I was mayor of Easttown after Vaibhav recommended it a couple of times, and then that turned out to be a good, it was a good experience. So I'm sure this would also be. Might give it a try.
Yeah, it'll take some time to grow on you. I do not know. That entirely depends on the individual, but it's amazing.
Yeah, and I think it has like few downs, like when you feel like why I'm watching and like why they are like, Chingam ki tarah, like it feels like that. But
yeah, it's about super rich people who just like how they live their lives or whatever. I love the character of Roman. Like you see these privileged kids making decision about their father's business, and they talk about certain things that you just don't even think of, or like you think 10 times and they just wouldn't give a thought and they'll just go ahead and do it. But yeah. But do you guys also listen to podcasts?
Yeah, I listened to a few of them, which is why I loved your interview with Amit Verma, because his Seen and Unseen is one of the best podcasts that is around.
Yeah,
I've been listening to him for quite some time now, and you don't even realize how 2-3 hours pass by. Because he's such a expert at engaging people in communication and with his communication, and there is no shouting, nothing. It flows at one particular decibel. It doesn't go beyond that or come below that. It's nice to sleep off to listening to it. And he touches on really, really good and interesting topics from language to movies to all of that. So that is one podcast that I follow.
And what would your recommendation be in terms of like, hey, listen to this episode from the Seen and the Unseen?
From Seen and the Unseen, there is, I forgot who it was with, who was the guest on it, but it's about languages. So that lady is from the Caribbean, I think, born and brought up there, and she's moved to Delhi or Mumbai, India basically, and she's working out of here. She studies languages, and it's an explanation of how India has evolved through languages, right from the time of this Aryan and Dravidian theory, right? So how languages evolved. So it's one very good podcast. And another one is with Jay Arjun Singh, where they discuss movies. those 2 episodes from Scene Unseen are the best. No, actually 3. There's one with Nilesh Mishra.
Okay.
If anyone follows him, he has this slow interview, right? And both of them are like the best at what they do. So, and they talk about storytelling in that. So, yeah, that would actually be the first one that I would recommend.
I think like I got pretty intimidated when I started listening to the Scene and the Unseen, because the length of the episode goes up to like 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
3 is like the average length, 3 hours. But it's really nice.
He even had one with Steven Pinker, the author of Better Angels of the Nature. That was the shortest episode, I guess, 45 minutes.
No, yeah, I haven't heard that one. I just knew there was an episode. This is nice. Are there any other podcasts that you guys have recently discovered that you really, really liked? I haven't been listening to a single podcast. Maybe that's why I'm asking for a recommendation. But yeah.
On movies, I can recommend one, which is run by this guy called Himanshu Joglekar.
Okay.
It's called the Love of Cinema podcast. So he is really passionate about movies, and he has interviewed a lot of directors, film critics.
Okay.
So that's one good podcast for me.
Nice.
Who are into movies.
Pretty cool. What about you, Shruti? Are you like, you were telling us that you're moving cities right now? Are you like, are there any particular books that you want to take with you?
Right now, no, I haven't decided about it. Like, I'm in between, like, I have been in job and I've been so tense. So this few weeks, I'm just chilling off, watching all the shows and movies that have been in my watch list. So maybe after a couple of weeks, I'll start thinking about it.
That's cool. And someone has recommended listen to the Jhadu podcast by Neil. Oh shit! Sorry, I don't know. That was a terrible comment. I'm sorry, but yeah. Okay. Someone is watching Jamie on Amazon, and yeah, this is nice. What are you guys, apart from that, are there any new discoveries that you've made?
About the podcast, so I don't listen. I cannot listen. I tried so many times to listen to podcasts. I have failed several times. I have tried, like, I think audiobooks also doesn't work for me because it's too much passive for me. But I'm following this Futility Closet. It's like I follow them for puzzles and stuff. Like, they post a puzzle per day, and they, like, my friend recommended them and he listened to that podcast. But he says that they are really good in podcasts if anybody is like interested in science, math, or puzzles.
Nice. And are there any new discoveries that you guys might have made, like, in terms of apps or websites or anything?
It's like,
I'll go first. I discovered it's called Cleanup Bin, and you can just keep all your wires there. So basically all the wires are easily hidden, and your extension board can fit in it, and therefore the room looks cleaner. That's my favorite discovery of the month of July.
Is it like hardware?
Yeah, it's just like a normal plastic bin with holes on its side, and like wires can come in and they can go out, but like there is not a lot of like mess created because of the wires.
There are wires around everywhere. I don't know anything about like discovery, but I've found that, I don't know if I should mention this here or not, but if you don't have proper ring when you do oil change, it won't work. And that's my reason. Like, I spend so much time and effort. I did oil change in my car by myself. I usually does that. And this time somehow there is a like ring which holds the oil when it gets pressurized. So make sure if this thing happen to you, or if anybody's changing the oil by themselves.
Cool. And what else, guys? Like, are there any other things that you'd like to recommend? It could be anything, like books, movies, or maybe music. Are you guys watching Olympics or maybe sports for that matter? But yeah.
From music, I think I was watching these films by Almodovar, and then what I noticed is that in each of his films there would be some music, which is very akin to say like an Indian film, but not exactly over there. But there, I saw this. I heard this song from this film called All About My Mother, and in this film there's a song called Deja Bon by this Senegalese band called Ismail Lo or something.
Okay.
And it has stuck onto me. So it keeps on playing in my head. And it's this very, very catchy tune, La Deja Bon. So that was one. And then there was another by there is this, which film was that? Was that in Volvo or some other film where it is about this called, it's a very famous Latin song sung by many singers called La Paloma Cucurcu. So it's a song about a dove, and it's the pain that it is going through, and it's about souls and things like that. And this particular song has been sung like by, say, Harry Belafonte, by John Baez, and stalwarts like that. But in this particular film, there is a version by Caetano Veloso, and again, it's very beautiful, very beautiful. I mean, again, it's stuck with me. So then I went back to YouTube and I was searching for all the songs by Almodovar films. It's quite catchy.
Nice. Are you also planning to join us for the movie quiz, Neil? Just curious, because we had sent this form in the Godfathers group where we had asked everyone to fill in their details if they're interested to join the movie quiz. I do not know if you did that, but if you did not, please do so.
I'm in awe of the people who join over there. So I'm sure I would make a big fool of myself if I joined there. So,
no, it's like with the quiz is just to enjoy and learn from, right? We would love to have you on the panel because I really like how you're talking about movies right now.
I'm sure I'm better off as an audience.
Good. No problem. But yeah, that's that. And what about what are the kind of, is there any particular book that you're looking forward to when it comes to a book a month? Like, do you guys have any recommendation for that?
Maybe the one which I don't know. I like to read a bit about the immigrant experience because probably it rhymes with my current existence, right? So probably Sanjeev Sahuta's book that comes out, and I think someone was recommending that as well, China or something like that. The new book that China Room or something that comes out of Sanjeev Sahuta's. There was a similar book that was by Ocean Vuong called, it was very beautiful. I don't know if you've read it, but so I generally look at books which deals with the immigrant experience. So this one book, if we have quite a few people who are based out of US and things like that, so maybe it might be a good idea to.
Nice. There was this book that I had once recommended. It's called Pachinko. It's about I think that was one of the, what troubled me was like, I get stuck when there are a lot of names because I'm not good at names. Anyway, so I have to draw flow charts every time. That was the only thing that bothered me. But apart from that, I loved the book. It talks about Korean immigrants in Japan and how they have to work at pachinko parlors. Pachinko is kind of like, to simplify it, a game where you kind of bet, and like it's just a gaming parlor, and so a lot of immigrants work there. So pachinko is a story spread across multiple generations that first immigrates to Japan and starts working in pachinko parlors, and it was really nice.
think speaking of immigrants, and I watched Mira Nair's Reluctant Fundamentalist. I think it was 3 weeks ago, and I, I'm assuming that everybody here might have seen that movie, but if not, I like that movie. Like, not the reviews and all that stuff are not so great, and it might be like just my personal choice, but I would recommend watch Reluctant Fundamentalist. And music is so amazing. Like, it opened up the whole new. I was following like Coke Studio Pakistan for a long time, but and then I didn't know about their like local and like very classical artist, and yeah, it opened up their whole there for me, that movie. And yeah, if you haven't watched that movie like Fundamentalist, it's a really good movie.
Nice. Is there also any movie that you're very excited about when the world opens and you are allowed to go back to the theaters and watch a movie? Is there any movie that you're particularly excited to go watch in the theaters?
I heard about this film that. Sorry, Parth, you want to go ahead?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just reading about this this film which opened in the Venice Film Festival once upon a time in Calcutta by Aditya Vikram Sengupta or something. And I had watched his first film, which was called Labor of Love. I don't know if you have seen this film, but it's about a very young couple who they have just got married, but they work odd hours. So once the husband comes, the wife goes to work. Once the wife comes, the husband goes to work. So the only time that they meet is this brief interlude of some time in between. And it's very minimalistic dialogues. There's absolutely, I think, less than 5 minutes of dialogue. It's just about these two people going about their lives. And it was such a beautiful film, this Labor of Love. So I'm quite excited to. I'm looking forward to his new film. This one, Once Upon a Time in Calcutta.
Right. I had seen this. I'm trying to find the name of the movie, but it's called 1500 Words, and it's a very short film. I think it's barely 5 minutes long, but it's about a man who is left with, it's 8 minutes long. So it's about a man who is left with only 1500 words. And the doctor tells him that, like, he usually says you have 6 months to live, 2 months to live, a year to live. He tells him you have 1500 words to live. And it's about how he decides to spend his 1500 words. And it's an amazing, amazing short film. So if you guys if you get 10 minutes in your daily ritual, like, do watch this short film. It's available on YouTube and it's amazing. Like, and one of the comments there said men struggle, like a good summary could have been man struggles to understand the concept of pen and paper, but nonetheless it's very beautiful how they show what he does with those 1500 words. But yeah.
There's really no one movie that I am excited to go and watch in the theaters, but yeah, based on what I have watched over the lockdown, I think Sarpad Parambara is one movie that should have been watched in theaters, and I missed out on it. But for the book of the month, I think we should have 1984. That's a book everyone in India should read and discuss.
Yeah,
and
you should try doing something like that.
Sandeep, if you have read about Cory Doctorow, he's a mostly on writes on non-fiction about surveillance capitalism and things like that. And there's a beautiful book by Cory Doctorow, which actually talks about this. How is it happening right now? And it's so topical at the moment. So indeed, 1994, and if you're looking into Cory Doctorow, that's probably the book that we should read. Yeah.
What's the name of the book?
It's Big Brother is Watching You, or Capitalism, Surveillance Capitalism. Just I'll tell you. Little Brother.
Little Brother?
Yeah, Little Brother by Cory Doctorow.
Nice. Nice. Little Brother is also a rap duo. But yeah, this is nice. What about you, Shruti? You've been very quiet for the past few minutes. Do you have any recommendations for us in terms of the book we can pick up for a book a month, or like just in like some series you saw and you're like raving about it? Like this is your moment to rant if you want to.
No, right now I can't think of any. No.
Cool, no problem. And yeah, so that's about it, guys. Like, do you have anything to add, like that I might have missed? Like, so we've discussed what we're reading, we've discussed what we're watching, but if there is anything that you guys would like to add, let's do so.
I want to, I don't know, I cannot recommend on the recommendation channel.
Of course you can.
But I like, so this is my first YouTube channel which I subscribed. And it's been like they are not doing any update or anything, but and since everybody here are mostly in films, so they can watch a channel called Every Frame a Painting. And I think I watched Sanjay Leela Bhansali movie and I was like so much pumped up, and I literally typed that words in a YouTube search and I was just like, let me see what comes out. And that channel came, and I think he's an editor somewhere in Los Angeles or Hollywood. And he ran that channel for 2 years, and he just made. And he introduced me to Bong Joon-ho back, like he was a big fan of that. But yeah, if people can check that out, that channel.
What about you, Sandeep? Do you have anything to add to what we discussed, or like any recommendation before we leave?
Yeah. So I think in June or May we have that book, right? Before Your Coffee Gets Cold.
Yeah.
So related to that, it's not an exact adaptation of it, but there are some lines which I cannot say without it becoming a spoiler. So catch this Telugu movie called Awe. It's AWE.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a cafe at the center of it, and it might or might not involve time travel, but catch it if you can. It's a good movie, and it has some threads with that novel. So that just
it's a psychological cross. It's a horror movie. Like, I don't know, I just Googled it and the first thing that came up was horror.
Don't read anything about it.
Okay, cool.
Anything about it is a spoiler. When you decide to watch, just watch it.
Okay, great. We'll do that. What about you, Neil? Do you have anything that I might have missed and you want to talk about it?
Oh, no, not really. I think I give quite a bit of thought. And I was probably in my recent in a book club chat, we were talking about a bit about Richard Powers. So yeah, I would really like us to discuss one day about Richard Powers, precisely because his books are so difficult to comprehend, and everyone will have their own take on the So it would be really interesting that the views will be quite divergent. I think that if we ever get a chance, we should read for one of our book clubs and then see how divergent the views would be on what happens.
Definitely do that. Yeah. This was great, guys. Thank you so much for joining. And this was a very impromptu stream, and I'm so glad all of you guys actually joined us. But yeah, guys, everyone who's watching, thank you so much for staying up until now. And if you like our work, you can also contribute to us on YouTube community or support us as a patron. And you get access to our exclusive WhatsApp groups dedicated to books, movies, music. We also have another groups now to science and sports, which are entirely made for Godfathers. So do join our groups. If you do support us on Patreon or become a member of our YouTube community if you like our work. And we'll be back with our movie quiz tomorrow. So stay tuned for that as well. There are quite a few guests who are joining us. And tomorrow's quiz will actually be very interesting. So do show up tomorrow at 10 p.m. Same place. And do like the stream. And thank you guys for joining us. And I'll just end the stream now.
Thank you, Vani. Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Thanks,
guys.
everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. Bye.